So let's talk about how completely and utterly screwed up this sequel trilogy is from Disney. It started off with Episode 7, and J.J. Abrams set up a nice plot full of mystery, introduced new characters and everything, like Rey and Snoke and Kylo and the Knights of Ren and all this stuff. And then Rian Johnson came in and shat all over that. And then just a couple days ago, Star Wars Episode 9 trailer has been released, and it just completely retcons all the decisions that Rian Johnson made. And now the final movie in the whole 9-movie saga has to make up for what Episode 8 did. And it just feels like Episode 8 now was just a complete waste of time and waste of a movie. Episode 8 took place in the span of a few days, and all it really managed to do was kill off one of Star Wars' most iconic characters, which was Luke. That's all Episode 8 really did, because everything else is getting retconned. In this instance, we have Kylo and his helmet. It was destroyed, and then they completely wrote over that, and now he has it repaired. So, in this trailer alone, we have Kylo's helmet. That gets retconned. It was destroyed. J.J. Abrams steps in. He's like, whoa, why did you do that? I gave him a badass helmet for a reason. Okay, we're going to repair that. So he fixed that. In Episode 8, Rey destroyed Luke's lightsaber. Rey and Kylo were fighting over it. Boom, it explodes, it shatters. Episode 9 comes along. What do you know? She repairs the lightsaber. So, boom, retcon that. And Snoke was just a complete waste of a character. JJ steps in. He's like, wow, Ryan, you kind of completely screwed up where I was going with Snoke. Well, I can't bring him back from the dead. That doesn't make any sense. What are we going to do? I guess we'll bring in Palpatine. And then, bringing in Palpatine, okay, that sounds cool in theory, but that retcons Episode 6. So, the entire sequel trilogy is just a complete and utter just shit show. Like, it's so unorganized. None of the main characters, Rey, Finn, or Poe, have any story to them. Like, they haven't had hardly any character development. And we're already coming up on the final movie. So here in the final movie, they have to, 1, redo a lot of the stuff that was in Episode 8. 2, they have to explain Palpatine and, like, where did he come from? How's he still alive? Is he alive? Is he a ghost? We have to have a Palpatine storyline. We have to wrap up the Rey storyline. We have to wrap up the Kylo storyline. We have to wrap up basically everything. So Episode 9 is going to feel like it's just, I don't know, it's going to feel so rushed. They have to cram so much information in the span of like 2.5 hours. This movie would have to be at least 3 hours long to make up for all the ground that they're trying to cover here. And then with Palpatine, I'm on the fence with Palpatine. Palpatine is, like, if you bring Palpatine back, then that just completely destroys the plot for Anakin. Anakin was the chosen one. He was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and he killed all the Jedi, and then he helped Palpatine, and then he was Darth Vader, and Luke convinced him that he was in the wrong, and Vader killed Palpatine, and that was supposed to be the justice. Like, that was it. That was Anakin's story. He brought balance to the Force. He killed Palpatine. Well, if you bring Palpatine back, that means Anakin's entire story was pointless. The only thing that Darth Vader was able to accomplish was that he saved Luke. And what was the point of that? Luke went off and became a hermit, didn't even train Rey. Like, well, Luke didn't do anything either. Luke didn't even bring balance to the Force. Luke taught Kylo, then became a hermit, then he died. So then I guess it goes on to Rey, but we don't even know if Rey's a Skywalker, which if Rey's a Skywalker, that's another retcon of Episode 8. That would make, what, four total retcons for Episode 8? Plus, there's the Finn love story. Finn was originally trying to go after Rey. Then Rose came in Episode 8, which completely screwed that up. So now, depending on what they do in Episode 9, they could make Finn either go after Rose, they could make Finn go after Rey, or they could go with the fan theory stuff and have Finn go after Poe. So no matter what option they do, they're retconning something. They're either going to retcon the love story in episode 7, or they're going to retcon the love story in episode 8 with Finn. There is so many plot points that just keep getting thrown back and forth. And it's so unorganized. The trailer for episode 9 just makes episode 8 look like a complete piece of shit. Like, I thought episode 8 was bad before, but this trailer makes episode 8 look like it was just a waste of a movie. Like, episode 9 should have been what episode 8 was. It should have went episode 7, episode 9, and then episode 10 could have wrapped it all up. If we did not have Rian Johnson's absolute god-awful abomination of a movie, then we could have had something really special here. We could have had Rey and Finn and Poe and everything they did in episode 7. Then JJ's episode 8 could have been the plot of episode 9. We have Snoke, and maybe Palpatine gets involved somehow. Like, maybe Palpatine was teaching Snoke and Snoke was working for him the whole time. Who knows? They could have went a different route with Luke. Imagine episode 9 if Luke was still alive. I bet you'd be completely different. I don't know. We could have gotten the Knights of Ren more involved. That's another plot point they have to figure out how to squeeze into episode 9. So episode 9 has to explain Palpatine. They have to somewhat explain Snoke. They have to explain Rey and her parents still, because that still hasn't really been answered unless she is just a nobody. And then the title of the movie is referring to Kylo. They have to explain the Knights of Ren. They have to explain Finn's love story and stuff. And they have to cram everything into a span of 2.5 hours. So there's going to be some plot points that don't get covered. That's basically what it means. So Disney has screwed up 7, 8, 9 so unbelievably bad that no matter what they do, they're going to screw up one of the previous movies. So either this movie completely makes episode 8 obsolete, or if Palpatine isn't a ghost, if Palpatine's alive, that completely screws up episode 6. No matter what happens, one of the previous movies is getting pretty much retconned. And I honestly, I'm kind of excited to see Palpatine, because I want to know what approach they're going to go with this. Like, was he secretly alive this whole time? Did he clone himself? And then this title of the movie, The Rise of Skywalker, is that referring to Luke? Is that referring to Anakin? Is Anakin going to come back? Like, there's, I don't know what they're going to do. And the more that I sit and think about the trailer and just all the different possibilities and all the ground that they have to cover, the more that I'm kind of not looking forward to the movie. Like, as soon as I heard Palpatine, I got excited. But then as I think about, that kind of ruins Anakin's whole thing. And Luke's dead, so that kind of ruins it. It kind of ruins it for Luke too. Luke can't get justice for his dad. And what's Kylo gonna turn on Palpatine? And Kylo, as the only remaining Skywalker, he kills Palpatine and brings balance. Like, I just don't know. I don't get it. Basically, to summarize this video, Disney's Star Wars is just a complete train wreck. It's just a complete wreck. And that's the problem with having two different directors. You have one director come in and he lays the groundwork and he has a story and he has a plot and he has this idea for where everything's going to go. And then JJ was like, nope, I don't want to do any more movies. Didn't even discuss it with Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson started filming episode 8 before episode 7 was even out, which that there is a mistake. So he didn't even completely watch the movie before he started filming. Filmed his own storyline, completely shot everything that J.J. Abrams had dead in the water. So now J.J. comes back, he's like, you know what, I want to do episode 9 after I said I didn't want to do the other movies. So he comes in and has to repair everything from episode 8 and tell the story of episode 9. And then you still have people, this is what I don't get. You have people that still defend Rian Johnson in episode 8, no matter what. they're like, oh, this is part of Rian Johnson's plan. This is symbolic. Like Kylo repairing the helmet. That's not a JJ thing. He's not retconning that. That's all part of Rian Johnson's plan. I mean, he killed Snoke. Snoke wanted him to destroy the helmet, but now he's his own person, and he's rebuilding the helmet because he doesn't have Snoke to push him around. Like, I've seen every excuse in the book for people defending Episode 8 with this trailer. And, oh man, they're like really reaching out there. It just pisses me off that we had Episode 7, and then Episode 8 took place in the span of a few days, completely ruined Luke Skywalker as a character, and that's all it managed to accomplish. That's it. It killed off Luke. Well, I guess it killed off Snoke, and then Episode 9 takes place, and then that's it. So I guess come December, we'll find out if they can cram all this information in the span of a couple hours. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that's basically going to do it for this video. As you can tell, I'm kind of sitting on the fence with this movie. I just don't know how they're going to be able to redeem Episode 8 because it just messed up Star Wars so badly. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of him just swooping in and changing the helmet and changing the lightsaber and changing Snoke and Palpatine? And does it ruin Episode 6 for you if Palpatine's still alive? Like, does that just completely kill off the Anakin storyline for you? Or are you completely fine with it and happy with Palpatine coming back? I'm pretty sure the community is kind of mixed on this from all the different threads I've been reading. Like, I've been reading stuff on Twitter and reading stuff on Reddit, and I mean, it's pretty mixed from what I can tell. But I'm very interested to see what everybody's thoughts are down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Or if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you guys want to help support me and the channel, consider donating on Patreon or becoming a channel sponsor. You will get your name featured at the top of every video. Check out another video, and I will talk to you guys next time.
We would be honored if you would join us. You cannot resist